Hi, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a very simple banner for your LinkedIn personal page. It's not going to be anything too crazy. I actually normally use Photoshop to create all my designs in, but for this video purpose, I'm going to use Canva just so it's accessible for everyone, because Canva is a free tool. Anyone with an internet connection can use it, so it's very good for people who have a business, who are a startup, for example, who don't have a budget to hire a graphic designer, who kind of want to bootstrap and make banners and graphics for themselves. So yeah, that's Canva for anyone who doesn't know Canva. I actually designed the banner here in Photoshop to begin with, because that's where I'm comfortable, and then I went over to Canva and played around with it to see what its capabilities were. But yeah, just decided to keep everything really, really simple. Follow Blanard's guidelines in keeping the banner to just say who you are, what you do, and a call to action here, which you can see is the URL to your website. If you don't have a website, then use some form of call to action, or maybe leave that bit out. The colours used here are obviously not Blanard's brand colours or Mason Media's, but it's just for this video, just an example. Okay, so let's begin. If you jump onto Canva, make an account which is free, click on Create Design, you'll be brought up with some social media templates. Canva has 1400 pixels by 425 pixels there, but then they are not the dimensions that I usually use. So if you want to make your own dimensions, which I would suggest doing, I'd suggest making a banner here by clicking Custom Dimensions, 1400 pixels wide, and then 350 pixels high. Create New. You'll be brought into the design section here, where you'll see that you can actually click on ready-made free designs, and then you can obviously edit them and put your own fonts in, your own colours that represent your brand and your own logo maybe even. So as you can see, I've added in this profile picture here just to make it a little easier for myself. You won't have that, but what I can do in a moment is show you how to make that to make it a little easier for you too. And just another quick thing I want to mention is that you'll notice in terms of the image, the text is quite central. We've aligned it in the center. And the reason for that is it may look a little off on desktop here with the profile picture being to the left. So naturally what you'd want to do is maybe right align it. But we were not going to do that. And the reason for that is because on mobile, this profile picture won't be there on the left. And if you right align your text, it's going to look a little off maybe. So we're going to keep it central so that when the design does become smaller for mobile purposes, it's not going to look kind of out of place. So we'll grab in the elements, all, you scroll down, you'll see a circle shape. Doesn't matter what color it is, click on it, make that 284 roughly pixels wide. I'll keep it 285, 284, there you go. Doesn't have to be exact, it just needs to be a rough guideline to give you an idea, so you don't have to try and visualize in your head where that's going to be. It's roughly about there, I'm pretty sure. But we're not gonna touch this side anyway, so as long as that's there, just to give you an idea, we are actually going to delete it in the end, and it's not going to be saved off with the design. So first thing we'll do is the background. I'll take the color here. You will take your actual own brand colors, which hopefully you do have some brand guidelines with colors and fonts in there. If you don't, I'd recommend you get some and take some time to do your branding, or say, for example, at the moment, if you've been using blue and black or pink and black, try and keep the colors exactly the same, get the hex codes for them, and yeah, use them consistently across all social media platforms. So you can add background in here. There's some free textures and stuff, but I'm not going to add in those. If you just click them, you see it can come in here. You double click and move that around, but I'm going to undo because I'm not going to use them. Click on elements again, like with the circle, you can use a rectangle, so we'll click on that and hold Alt and drag to either side here so it covers the whole banner. It can overlap around the edges like this because it's just a background colour and that section won't save off in the end. Do the same here, hold Alt and drag up, and then we'll get the text colour value. I think I already did that, but I'll just do it again just in case. And click on the colour up here and paste it in. Yeah, it's found the colour for me. So there it is. The circle's actually disappeared here, so what we'll do is click on the background colour, position, backwards. That's just kind of like, if you are familiar with Photoshop by any chance, you have layers. So we want to send that layer to the back there, so we don't lose this, so we can keep a good idea of where that photo is going to be. If you click on this background color again, because we had another bar at the bottom here in the design I've already made, you can Command C if you're using an Apple Mac, and then Command V. Not sure exactly what it is for Windows. I haven't used Windows in a while now, but just Control C, Control V, I'm assuming. Drag that down, and then grab the color code for that. So again, you won't have Photoshop to grab color codes, but hopefully you will have some colors that you use to represent your brand. Click up here again to change the color, paste that code in. Yep, that's the one. And then again, we're going to send that to the back. So it's starting to look a lot, oh, I've just clicked on Illustrator there, I didn't mean to do that. It's starting to look a little bit like the banner now. We've got the background sorted, so the next thing would be to add the text in. So we'll go back, we'll click on the text feature, add a heading, and I'm just going to copy and paste what I've already done here into that. And then again, like with the colours, use your own fonts. Should be part of your branding. Make italic for effects. You can hold Alt and drag these out just so when you make the text a little bigger, like we're going to do, it doesn't drop down onto two lines. And if we hover over the edge here, that allows you to move the text. Okay, so you've got that bit in, and then we'll add in the subheading, which is, I'm going to copy this. Control V, we'll make that a little smaller, and we'll move that, and we want it to be central, so if you look for the pink dotted lines there, that's a good indication that you are central within these two text elements, which is exactly what you want. You don't want to, I would say there, it looks really sloppy. So for design button purposes and to keep it looking professional, keep that as aligned as possible. And if you hold Shift and click on both elements there, so you can see they're both selected, you go to position and center, that will make sure if you click on that, that they are exactly aligned centrally. Okay, so make this a little bigger. Bring a little OCD here. Yes, so the next thing would be to enter in the call to action. And the way we do that, we added a black box in the background, and that was just to make the URL pop a little bit, because that is the next step you want people to take. You want them to go to your website, find out more about you. So we'll make that again, make another box, drag that down, make sure it's aligned there. See the dotted lines, that means the shape is aligned centrally with these two pink boxes, and then we'll hold Shift and drag that out. Be any width there. There we go, we're all aligned, so we've got all the pink dots horizontal and vertically, and that is all aligned up. Then we need to make this black, like the design in Photoshop, and go get some text. And we'll type in www.maysmithmedia.com, and don't want to do that, move that back. Try. It's unfortunate how it pastes there, but we'll move it over here, and we need to make that white so we can actually see it. So here we go, click on this, make it white, change the font to make it your own, we'll make it italic for effect's sake. I'll make it a little bit bigger because it is a call to action after all. There we go. Then a little bit more. Control A, Command A there to select the whole of that subheading, and we'll make it say Lato, and we'll make that italics too. Again, this is going to come down to what you're branding, what fonts, what color schemes you use. Yeah, it's kind of starting to look like the design we had in Photoshop. Move that up a little bit. There you go. So we've got what you do, who you do it for, and a call to action to find out more. And we want to make sure this is aligned here. So we'll select both of these elements, the text and the box, by using Shift and clicking them both, and we'll position central and middle. So that's positioned it directly central there. Text, actually, because it has a Y, makes that a little off. So OCD's sake, I'm going to move that down a little bit. Oh, don't want to do that. Get rid of that. Okay. Okay, now before we save this, you might notice that the text isn't exactly central. I got rid of this picture, this circle here that we were using as a profile picture, by just clicking on that and clicking the backspace. So yeah, we're going to make the text central now by clicking on the text. Hold Command when you do that, and hold Command still, and make sure you click the background as well. Sorry, not Command, Shift. So hold Shift and click the text and the background, and then we go to Position and Center, and that will make it exactly central. And what we need to do is do that on all of the elements now. So again, we've clicked the subheading, click background, holding Shift, click on Position, Center again. And the same with these two elements here. So Smith Media, hold the black background, and then click on the background, click Position and Center, and now everything is exactly center aligned. Okay, so now we have the banner. What you can do is you click on File in the top left corner here and click Save, so that you can come back to this banner at any point when you log into your Canva account, and you can make any changes or save it off as a different file format. You can then click over on the right hand side where it says Publish, Download, and you can download as either a PNG or a JPEG. I'd recommend saving it as a JPEG. Yeah, make sure the quality is quite high. Download that, it will then save to your computer, and then you can upload it to your LinkedIn page.